Good morning, students. In the last video, we were learning about the cloning sites. Okay, and suppose we have this is a plasmid or PBR 322, and in this PBR 322 there are the two antibiotic resistance genes, that is the ampicillin resistance gene and the tetracycline resistance gene. And because we require the large number of these plasmids, we require the large number of recombinant DNA for the transformation of large number of bacteria. So and also we require the large number of foreign DNA. So we can ligate the foreign DNA, or desired DNA or any alien piece of DNA. We can ligate either in the tetracycline resistance gene or in the ampicillin resistance gene. If we ligate a foreign DNA or desired DNA in the tetracycline resistance gene by cutting with BAM-H1 restriction enzyme, the tetracycline resistance gene will be inactivated due to the insertion of foreign DNA. Likewise, if we ligate a foreign DNA or any alien piece of DNA in the ampicillin resistance gene, in that condition, the ampicillin resistance gene will be inactivated due to the insertion of that foreign DNA or any alien piece of DNA. This is called the insertional inactivation. So suppose we are going to ligate a foreign DNA in the tetracycline resistance gene by cutting the BAM-H1 enzyme. So we can cut the plasmids. We take the many PBR 322 or many plasmids, add the many foreign DNA, add BAM-H1 restriction enzyme that cut the PBR 322 or plasmids at the restriction site present in the tetracycline resistance gene, and then we add the ligase enzyme that helps to ligate the foreign DNA in this tetracycline resistance gene. And when the foreign DNA are ligated in the tetracycline resistance gene, the plasmid or that recombinant DNA will produce, because after ligation it will form recombinant DNA, but in that recombinant DNA there will be no resistance against the tetracycline, because that gene is have been inactivated due to the insertion of foreign DNA. After that, now we transfer in the culture medium of the bacteria for the transformation. There will be the many recombinant DNA. Some may be recombinant, some may be non-recombinant also. Non-recombinant means there is no ligation of foreign DNA. So there are the many plasmids, some are recombinant, some are non-recombinant. We transfer in the culture medium in the bacteria. So in some bacteria, the recombinant plasmid may enter, in some may enter, the non-recombinant plasmid may enter. In some, there is no transformation, means no this PBR 322 or no plasmid. So, these bacteria will be the transformants due to the transfer of this PBR 322 in these bacteria. But this bacteria will be the non-transformant. How to separate transformant from non-transformant? So we transfer these bacteria in the ampicillin containing medium. So in ampicillin containing medium, the transformants bacteria will survive, they will grow, and the non-transformant will die. So we can now isolate the transformants from non-transformant by the transfer this bacterial culture in the medium that contains the ampicillin. Means ampicillin resistance gene helps to separate the transformants from non-transformant. Now after that, now we have no non-transformant in the, now we have only transformant. Now we transfer this transformant in the tetracycline containing medium. Okay, First we transfer these transformants in the ampicillin containing medium. The transformants will survive, non-transformant will die out. Now after that these transformants that survived in the ampicillin containing medium is now transferred in the tetracycline containing medium. We transfer in tetracycline containing medium. In tetracycline containing medium, the recombinants bacteria cannot grow. The growth of the recombinants bacteria will stop because in these bacteria there is no resistance against the tetracycline due to the insertional inactivation. So these transformants or these are the recombinants. These recombinants bacteria cannot grow in the tetracycline containing medium, but non-recombinants, these are the non-recombinants. There is no insertion of foreign DNA. So these non-recombinants can grow in both. In ampicillin containing medium also can grow, and in tetracycline containing medium also grow, because there is the simple PBr322 having the both genes, ampicillin resistance, tetracycline resistance, in both are present here. Both genes are present. So non-recombinants can grow in both ampicillin as well as tetracycline containing medium, but the recombinants that grows in the ampicillin containing medium but cannot grow in the tetracycline containing medium, because in these recombinants there is no resistance against the tetracycline, because the foreign DNA is ligated in the tetracycline gene, and this causes the inactivation or insertional inactivation. So in this way we can show this, we can say that in this process the ampicillin resistance gene helps to differentiate transformant from non-transformant, transformant from non-transformant, while the tetracycline resistance gene, because it is inactivated due to the insertion of foreign DNA, now it helps to differentiate recombinant from non-recombinant. So that's why there is the two antibiotic resistance genes are used in this PBr322. And so we learned that what is the importance of these two antibiotic resistance genes. Means the ampicillin helps to isolate or identify the transformant from non-transformant, and the tetracycline resistance gene helps to isolate or differentiate recombinant from non-recombinant. But this process is very difficult process, because simultaneously we have to do the different procedure. First we ligation, then transfer in culture medium, then in ampicillin containing medium, then in the tetracycline containing. This process is very complicated process. That's why our scientists developed another selectable marker. Here these are the selectable marker. Antibiotic resistance genes are the selectable marker, but now we have the different selectable markers. So therefore the alternative selectable marker have been developed which differentiate recombinant from non-recombinant on the basis of the ability to produce color in the presence of chromogenic substrate. What I am saying, that because these selectable markers are very difficult, this procedure is very difficult. That's why our scientists decided to develop any alternative selectable marker. So alternative selectable marker have been developed that differentiate the recombinant and non-recombinant on the basis of the color, ability to produce the color in the presence of chromogenic substrate. Chromogenic substrate means any substance that produce color, gives color. That is the chromogenic substrate. So that on that basis we can differentiate the recombinant from non-recombinant. For example, suppose we have the bacteria having plasmid. Suppose we have the plasmid, and in this plasmid we have the we have a gene having the gene that produces the beta galactosidase enzyme. Suppose there is a gene in this plasmid that produces beta galactosidase enzyme. Suppose we have suppose this is a plasmid in the bacteria, and in this plasmid there is a gene that code that contain information for the production of beta galactosidase enzyme. So if we insert any alien piece of DNA or foreign DNA in this beta galactosidase gene, in that condition this gene will be inactivated. That is the insertional inactivation. So if we can ligate a foreign DNA or desired DNA in this beta galactosidase gene, means the gene which is responsible for the synthesis of beta galactosidase enzyme. So when we ligate, if we ligate any alien piece or foreign DNA in this gene that produces beta galactosidase enzyme, in that condition that gene will be inactivated. So in that condition there will be no production of beta galactosidase enzyme. So and now this plasmid is now added in the bacteria, in the culture medium. Suppose these plasmids are added in the bacteria. In that condition, bacteria produces two types of colony in presence of chromogenic substrate. Blue colored colony developed if there is no insertion of the alien piece of DNA, means blue color colony developed if there is no insertion of the foreign DNA in the plasmid. Means in the bacteria there is the normal plasmid, there is no recombination, there is no insertion of the foreign DNA. That bacteria produce the blue colored colony, but the recombinant, means the plasmid having the foreign DNA that enter into the bacteria, that bacteria produce the colorless colony. So on the basis of this colorless and blue colored colony, we can identify that which one is the recombinant, which one is the non-recombinant. So non-recombinant bacteria produce the blue colored colony, while the recombinant bacteria having the insertional inactivation, means the bacteria having the plasmid in which the beta galactosidase gene is inactivated. In that condition, due to the absence of this enzyme, beta galactosidase enzyme, that produce the colorless colony, and so in presence of chromogenic substrate. So on the basis of this colorless colony, means the recombinant bacteria, and the blue colored colony, that is the non-recombinant. So in this way we can identify or we can differentiate the recombinant and non-recombinant on the basis of the color produced by this bacteria in presence of chromogenic substrate, means substrate that produce color. See, if there is the recombinant colony of the bacteria, that will be colorless, because in the recombinant colony the gene for beta galactosidase is inactivated. So there is no production of beta galactosidase enzyme. So there is no metabolism of this chromogenic substrate, and the bacteria develop the colorless colony. But the non-recombinant, means the plasmids, there is no insertion of the foreign DNA. That bacteria, non-recombinant bacteria, produce the blue colored colony. So in this way we can differentiate recombinant and non-recombinant on the basis of the color. Thank you.